Hey, we're back at the Ask Murph Show, and today I want to talk about what are the 10 most expensive parts about building a home. Now, I don't want anybody to hit me up and tell me that this one's more expensive than that. What I'm giving you is a list of the 10 most expensive items when building a home. So they're not in any particular order because really it comes down to what's priority for you. So one thing for one person might be on the top of the list, and another thing for another person might be on the bottom of the list. So this is just a list of the 10 biggest items when you build a home and what their expense will be relative to the entire scope of the build. So one of the biggest expenses when building a house is the foundation. Now, especially when we build a home in Minneapolis, because we have to do something called shoring. And so before we even get to pour the foundation, we have to support the walls of the hole with big steel beams, and then we pour the foundation, and then we pull those beams out. And the reason we do that is so that the homes next to us don't cave into the actual hole that we're digging for the new construction home, or at the very least that they don't have any deterioration of the soils that are supporting the foundation of those homes and then cause foundational issues for those homes as we're building this brand new house. So that's a huge expense. Number two is framing. The lumber and the actual labor to frame a home is definitely one of the most expensive items when building a new house. The other one is windows. Now windows, there's a huge range. You can go from the cheapest vinyl clad window all the way up to the most expensive Anderson custom wood window. And you can even order your own window sizes where they literally will build you whatever you want. Now that's going to be expensive. The fourth one is going to be siding. Now there's lots of different sidings. You have a vinyl siding, you have an LP siding, you have a hardy siding, you have stucco, you have tons of different materials you can use on the exterior of your home. But as you're moving up the ladder of more and more custom to stuccos and different custom designs, LP and hardy, your price is definitely going to go up, and that will become an expensive part about building a home. Number five is the wood flooring. Now, flooring in general has a wide range because there's all kinds of flooring, but particularly wood flooring, and even more particularly exotic types of wood floors. So if you're going with like a Brazilian cherry or some mahogany or something crazy like that, that's going to get really expensive really fast. And so that's why we have that at about number 5. Number 6 is landscaping. Now this doesn't necessarily isn't included in the actual build of the structure, but I wanted to include it because a lot of people, number 1, forget that landscaping is something you're going to have to do eventually when you build a house. Number 2 is the builder kind of throws it over on the side and says, yeah, here's where your build cost is, and oh, if you want to sprinkle in a little landscaping, or you can take care of it yourself. But either way, you, the consumer, you're going to have to do landscaping, and landscaping can go, I mean, just to throw in some shrubs and some mulch and just to get something there with sod, you're looking at $11,000. You know, and that might include a irrigation system. It depends how big your lot is and whatnot. But I mean, also on landscaping, there's this, I mean, it's infinity. Like I've seen people spend $200,000 on landscaping with amazing water features and boulder walls and crazy lighting and just all these different fun things. So landscaping can be all over the board, but it's something you definitely need to think about when you're building a house. Number 7 is, I kind of lump these all together because they're kind of pretty close in cost. Plumbing, electrical, HVAC, which is your furnace, your heating and your air, sheetrock, and painting. Those are all going to kind of be within the same range, just depending on what you're doing. Number 8 is appliances. Now appliances, again, that's another huge range because appliances, you can go with something that's really cheap and cost effective all the way up to like a Wolf appliance, which you could pay up to $40,000 for that appliance package, and even more depending on if you have other ancillary appliances like beverage fridges or ice makers or whatever else you might have included in your build. So appliances, I mean, I've seen people spend almost $100,000 on appliances in a custom home. So you gotta pay attention to what those costs are. It can be a big cost. Number 9 is lighting. Now, lighting in a standard, new build that's more of a national construction build, what we would call maybe a cookie cutter home, isn't going to be a really high expense. But when you get into custom homes where you're picking designer lights, there's lights that are $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, just one light fixture. So lighting can get really expensive as you move up the scale and get deeper into custom homes and million dollar plus homes. The other one is also roofing. Now there's lots of different kinds of roofing. Most of ours are used to asphalt shingles, which is a standard kind of roofing, but you also have what we call cedar shakes. You can have a tile roof. There's lots of metal roof, which is really popular on contemporary housing. All those different styles of roofs, anything other than an asphalt shingle roof, can get really expensive. So those are 10 things that you need to really think about as far as the cost when building a home. So if you have any other questions about what are some big costs or anything that goes into building a new construction, hit me up. I'm here to help.